After understanding the importance of the terminating null character, we will move on to declaration, definition and initialization of strings. Since one way of looking at the string is that they are essentially arrays of characters, and hence the protocol governing their declaration, definition and initialization is exactly similar to the one adopted with one-dimensional strings, with just one minor difference. The one-dimensional array needs to be of character type. The following syntax declares a string. You should note that the syntax is exactly similar to the syntax of declaring 1D array of character type. The size of the character array, denoted by array size, should be sufficient to hold all the characters of the string plus the terminating null character. Thus, a string stored as a character array allows for storage of one less than array size characters because one space is consumed by the null character. Having seen the syntax of declaring a string, let's learn how to declare and initialize the string in one go. Like 1D arrays, string can also be initialized while being declared. The syntax of declaring a string remains the same as shown before. The initialization can be done by any of the following two ways. While declaring, the string can be initialized either through a string literal or through a list of initializer character arrays. This is an example of initializing a string by making use of a string literal. And this is an example of initializing a string by making use of a character list. Let us understand the finer aspects of both of these styles one by one. Following is the general format of declaration and initialization of a string by making use of string literal. This statement creates a character array of array size length. It assigns the content after the equals operator to the character array. The first character will go into the first position of the array, the second character will go into the second position of the array, and so on. In this assignment, the null character is appended automatically at the end of the array. If space is provided, as can be seen from the representation on display, there are two questions that arises here. Firstly, what happens if the declared size is larger than the length of the initializing string? Secondly, what happens if the declared size is smaller than the length of the initialized string? In the first case, the array is allocated in the memory and then characters of the string are assigned, while null is allocated to the rest. Consider the following example. The compiler creates a character array of size 10, stores the characters of hello in the first 5 positions and will fill the remaining positions with a null. Watch the output of the two print statements. They will print hello and the null character respectively. The latter will not be visible on the screen. In the second case, when initializing with strings which are larger than the available room in the array, the compiler stores only that many numbers of characters which can be accommodated in the array. Considering the code displayed on your screen, the string HEL is stored in the array and no null character is appended in the end because there is no room for it. The output of the print statement will be HEL and 3 respectively. If the string length is less than the declared length of the array, we end up wasting memory bytes. On the other hand, if the string length is more than the declared length of the array, we end up losing data. Both of these problems can be addressed by dropping the array size parameter altogether. The compiler will automatically infer the required size of the array based on the initializer string. See the example on display. The statement allocates a continuous chunk of 11 characters. It stores alpha underscore beta in the first 10 bytes and append a null character at the end. We mentioned that while declaring a string, it can be initialized either through a string literal or through a list of initializer character arrays, and we have just finished discussing the former approach of initialization of the string. Let us move on to the later one. Another method to initialize a string is to use char values directory. Similar to the method discussed in the video covering declaration and initialization of one-dimensional arrays, we declare the array with the character types as before to store strings. The rules governing array size are the same as applicable to the one-dimensional array initialization. For details, please refer to the relevant video in one-dimensional arrays. This is a simple statement that declares and initializes a string by making use of a character list. Take note of how the null has been explicitly inserted at the end. This style of initialization does not automatically append the null character in this case, and null has to be inserted manually.